As the playoffs heat up, MVP contest between Westbrook and Harden, who is it? Well, eSport ePoll found that regardless of who it is, it's an amazing impact on a player's long-term marketability. Look at reigning MVP Steph Curry. He's the most popular of the MVPs of all of the sports today. His 50% awareness score among sports fans is 2.5 times higher than the next MVP, Falcons quarterback Matt Ryan. And with the 2017 NBA MVP race narrowing to a two-man contest between Westbrook and Harden, ePoll found that Westbrook's 56% appeal 10 points higher than Harden's, whose awareness is 13 points higher than Westbrook's, due in part, by the way, to his earlier relationship with Khloe Kardashian. Maybe she helps him with free throws. But both men fell well short of Curry's pre-MVP appeal score of 72% during the 2015 season. Curry's popularity shot up dramatically after his MVP win, increasing it by 20 points. This year's winner has to wait until seeing how the team's performance does, which also has an impact on overall popularity as well. In an unprecedented move, the USA, Canada, and Mexico joining forces for a bid to host the World Cup in 2026. The North American countries joined forces now looking to fast-track the historically long, arduous process of securing World Cup hosting rights. Multiple high-ranking officials said that CONCACAF is planning to make a proposal at May's FIFA Congress that could accelerate the entire process, which would normally be expected to last until 2020, believe it or not. In the proposal, the CONCACAF bid will ask the world governing body's 211 members for a unique, non-competitive window in which would prepare a report that showcases the technical specs of the bid, covering everything from stadium capacities and infrastructure to hotels and transportation. Under the proposed bid, the U.S. would host significantly more games than its neighbors, 60 out of 80, and all matches from the quarterfinals on. But even though this process looks like a lock, 3 countries, 1 huge continent in one process, politics, the uncertainties of economics, and maybe even presidential issues might stand in the way. Stay tuned. Well, New York lost the draft a few years ago. Now apparently they're making moves to try to get it back again. New York expressed interest in hosting the NFL draft in 2019 and beyond. This year's draft outdoors in Philly. The last 2 years' drafts took place in downtown Chicago. New York set to be just one of the multiple cities vying to land the rights to host. Philly, Canton, Ohio, the Hall of Fame, Dallas, Denver, Kansas City, Green Bay, Jacksonville, and L.A. want to host the 2019 and beyond. Radio City Music Hall appears to be the likely location to host the draft, and it does wind up being held in New York City. If it does, to the general onlooker, it may not seem that hosting the NFL draft is a big deal, but it's actually become as competitive at hosting a Super Bowl thanks to the positive economic impact it generates. Clearly, it is the second most significant event on the NFL calendar on a yearly basis, and the most competitive along with the Super Bowl. Economics as well as politics look for the draft to rotate for a very long time. Radio City Music Hall, you shouldn't have lost it in the first place. By the way, the draft begins, as always, on TSN, beginning on Thursday, April 27th.